and the application that blockchain developers actually need, that we need to build sort of bigger blockchain, sort of realize the potential of Tendermint as a consensus engine. And so ABCI++ is basically this idea of, right now what happens is application, like Tendermint does consensus and then gives the transactions to the application, says, we came to consensus on these applications, now process those transactions. And what ABCI++ is basically the idea of making every step of consensus programmable, so that you could have an application, for instance, that doesn't actually produce a block until you've agreed on what events happened on Ethereum during that block production phase. An application that doesn't produce a block until the validator set has agreed on a price for like a price oracle for a Terra-like stablecoin. These are sort of this is like, I think, one of the sort of key enabling features of the sort of technology development. If you talk about to like sort of every sort of different Cosmos application protocol, I think probably the feature that we are most excited about on sort of the work in progress in the Cosmos technology community is ABCI++, because it sort of enables this like far easier mechanism of integrating Tendermint with sort of sort of external other blockchains, other prices, or sort of other financial systems, et cetera, like natively into the system. So ABCI++, like when ABCI, so like, you know, where you can build, like all of these things exist anyways, but they become sort of much easier to build under the sort of domain of ABCI++, and it is an extremely exciting technology. It sort of enables Cosmos to kind of go in a different direction than all the other proof of stake protocols that sort of they don't have this like 6 years of history. So what is DIBC, Dynamic IBC? Dynamic IBC is a really, so when most of you have sort of used IBC, what you've experienced right now is what we call ICS-20, which is token transfers. But what I'm really happy about the IBC that we actually shipped was that we enabled other applications to be built on top of IBC in the sort of version that we shipped. We just needed to have smart contract languages that were natively connected to IBC. So right now, you know, what people don't really realize is that the IBC protocol can be permissionlessly extended to support things beyond token transfers, sort of out of the box. That you don't need we don't need a governance proposal, we don't need an upgrade. Like all of this stuff is already sort of baked into the IBC protocol, and it's just been waiting for smart contract frameworks that sort of natively speak IBC. And now that we have Cosmos 1.0 and Agoric coming soon, we have these sort of IBC native smart contract languages that can build IBC like arbitrary protocols before beyond token transfers. So if you want, you know, if you want to have a protocol that is like, you know, governance proposals or like sort of a multi-chain application that is like controlled by a common governance layer that lives on another chain, like all of these things can be built out of IBC today using this dynamic IBC functionality. And I think it's like one of the sort of least sort of well-known and least well-understood things about what we actually shipped with IBC when we shipped IBC earlier this year. So sort of like extending this theme, there is a second sort of IBC protocol that is like very late in the standardization process. And that second IBC protocol that is in the standardization process is this idea of interchain accounts. And the idea of it is it allows you to control an account on a blockchain from another chain over IBC. So what does this enable? This enables stuff like you can have a wallet on the Cosmos Hub, but that wallet is actually controlled by a DAO that lives on Juno. This sort of capability is coming to interchain accounts, and again, it enables building these like sort of like truly multi-chain applications where you like will have DAOs on chains that support it, controlling accounts on other chains. It is sort of almost the simplest way for a Cosmos chain that doesn't support smart contracts to like opt into a great deal of composability simply by upgrading and supporting this new IBC spec. I've been working really hard on liquid staking in addition to Sommelier. And I think it is a little bit of it is an interesting question of how it fits in it. I gave this talk in 2019 called Staking is DeFi, which basically sort of was like foretelling the rise of liquid staking. And you see liquid staking now is like taking off all over the ecosystem. I've really been a believer that we should do things a little bit differently inside of Cosmos, and have been working towards this with the liquid staking implementation. And we've been building this I've been building this liquid staking implementation. It is sort of getting peer review from a bunch of people in the Cosmos. There's a Telegram group. But how does liquid staking enable sort of cross-chain composability? Well, one of the things that liquid staking will do is it will allow for the security, like it'll allow you to compose the staking and security layers across multiple chains together. I don't just imagine that like the only thing that will come out of liquid staking on Cosmos as being, we make a stake, like a DAO consumes those liquid staking tokens and makes a staked atom. People may build like Cosmos index funds. People may may build synthetic assets that expose you to one validator, but across all of the different chains that they validate on. This is, I think, just as much a fundamental building block as the others in like getting to this world in which the way Cosmos works is